Black people are always believed to suffer from inferiority complex. This has been the belief that the other races have been living with. They believe that blacks are inferior. They believe that blacks are uncivilized. They believe that blacks are poor in mindset. I said mindset. It is true that everything you go through, every situation you find yourself in, you either consciously or unconsciously planned for it. Why are you suffering, black man? Why are you living in poverty, black man? Why do you hate yourself, black man? Why are you so afraid of advancing? Why do you indulge in activities and lifestyles that don't promote your elevation? Is something wrong with your belief? Or is it that there's a problem with your mindset? We, the modern African man, get to challenge our lives and the things that we observe through perceiving, discussing, and trying to find a concrete solution to anything that affects our well-being. Na ndio maana we are agents of spiritual awakening. Na ndio maana our greatest dream and hope is to see as many people as possible awakened. Na ndio maana we promote and talk about consciousness every time. People are unconscious. I wish the language I'm using, everybody understands. And it gets to anybody who is watching this video. It's time to change. Just like the world is changing, they are telling us that we have to go to the new world order. Are you ready for that change? What are you doing to be ready for that change? What are you doing to open up for new things? It's time to change our mindset. It's time to change our behaviors. It's time to change our lifestyle. And it's time to believe in ourselves. Let us start by knowing who we are. Let us know who we are. Let us find the power that we have from in deep inside. And let us try to change things around us. It's long since we had our reading classes. And some of us have asked me if I stopped. No, I didn't stop. I'm free. And being free, it means that you are ready to receive anything positive in you. I do these videos according to the way positivity leads me. And today we are going to continue our reading from the book of People Who Changed the World. We'd read about Hammurabi, Muatep, Moses, Muatalis, Ramesses, Agamemnon, Nebuchadnezzar, and today we want us to read about another individual who changed the world with their life and the impact they had in their life and ours as well. Today we are going to read about an individual by the name Pythagoras. And before we continue, please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to this channel, The Modern Africa Man. If you are not following, please follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and any other platform. Your love, your support, your subscription, and your like really means a lot to us. We thank you so much for your support. And please, let's continue with that. Let's get down and get to read about Pythagoras. Pythagoras was born on Samos, 582 BC, 582 years before the birth of Christ. Died at Metapontium, 497 BC. Ancient Greek philosopher, sage, and a mathematician. Achievements. Founded a community of philosophers and mathematicians. laid the foundation of modern mathematics, discovered the properties of a right-angled triangle. Those are Pythagoras' achievements. Now let's dig deep to his story. Pythagoras was born in the island of Samos in 582 BC and became a pupil of Pherecydes. In 529 BC, he settled in Croton, which was a Greek colony in southern Italy. There he founded a religious community or brotherhood. It seems he suffered some kind of persecution and was driven out under the tyranny of Polycrates. He acquired a reputation as a learned, inquisitive, and universally informed man. Kwa watu wetu wakawa, tunaambiwa hapa Pythagoras alizaliwa miaka 582 kabla Yesu azaliwe, sawa? Na alizaliwa place pale kwa panaitwa Samos, ilikuwa ni island. But tunaambiwa in 529 BC alisettle place nyingine yenye ilikuwa inaitwa Croton. Hiyo ni after kukua na kuanza kujua vitu. Alikuwa Mgreek na alikuwa anatoka from a Greek colony yenye ilikuwa some part south of Italy. Alifounda ka religion. Hiyo religion yake hatujaambiwa about it, but najua tukiendelea kusoma we'll get to know more about his religion. Na pia tunaambiwa yeye ndiye alidiscover the right angle triangle, properties za right angle triangle, na ka get reputation kama a great mathematician na alikuwa amejulikana like all over the world. Let's continue reading. Pythagoras did not write anything, and his life is rooted in legends, which included extensive travels in foreign lands. Pythagoreanism was more a way of life than a system of philosophy, with an emphasis on asceticism, moral reform, and purification. It was more religious than philosophical. The Pythagorean way of life had much in common with that of the Orphic communities. He observed various kinds of ritual self-denial. One of his rules was do not eat beans. He believed in the transmigration of souls and the kinship of all living things. Pythagoreanism established a short-lived supremacy in Greece, but entangled with politics led to its downfall. The movement against the Pythagoreanism happened within Pythagoras' lifetime, under the leadership of Cylon in about 510 BC. Tunaambiwa Pythagoras aliform religion ilikuwa inaitwa Pythagoreanism, na ilikuwa so religious sana, na during that time watu walikuwa sana into philosophy, na tunaambiwa hii religion ya Pythagoras ilikuwa strong sana, yenye ilikuwa imeshinda hata power ya philosophy. Ilikuwa so religious mpaka kulikuwa na rituals, matambiko zenye walikuwa wanafuata, kama hawakuwa wanafanga kukula maharagwe, vitu kama hizo. Kuna vitu zenye walikuwa wanafuata, rituals, matambiko, yani ilikuwa religion. Ni mambo na mathematics, science, but imeingiana na religion ndani yake. Tuendelee kusoma tujue kuliendaje. But tunaambiwa pia hii Pythagoreanism ilianza kupata objection na rejection kutoka kwa community. Watu walikuwa wanaona ni kitu dangerous sana, yenye ilikuwa influence watu in a way yenye maybe haikuwa recognized in that community. So tunaambiwa ilianza kupingwa na ikaanza kufall, kuisha kama bado Pythagoras ako alive, especially wakati wa king fulani alikuwa anajiita King Cylon. Yeye ndiye alifight sana against hiyo Pythagoreanism na alimaliza before Pythagoras dead. Hebu tuendelee kusoma tujue. Cylon was able to force Pythagoras to retire, and after the great man went to Metapontium, where he died in 497 BC. The Pythagorean order continued for several more decades until it was violently suppressed. The meeting houses of the order were sacked and burned. The house of Milo in Croton was attacked with warning, and 50 or 60 Pythagoreans who were living there were killed. The survivors took refuge to Thebes, later returning to Italy, where Tarentum became their headquarters Archytas, the friend of Plato, ruled Taras and was never defeated in battle. The Pythagorean school eventually died out in around 350 BC. Tunaambiwa King Cylon alifight sana hiyo Pythagoreanism na aliweza alimanage kuforce Pythagoras kuretire, but hata Pythagoras after kuretire na after yeye kudedi, hiyo religion yake iliendelea kwa miaka, but hapo mbele tunaambiwa ilikuja ikakuwa suppressed, ilikuja ikapigwa vita mpaka ikamalizwa. That is around 497 BC, na tunaambiwa pia watu walikuwa into that religion like 50 to 60 waliuliwa kwa kuchomwa, yani ndio wamalize hiyo religion kabisa. Hiyo religion haikuwa inaenda kwa Greece sababu ilikuwa so much influential na it's like it was not accepted in the community. Tuendelee. It is not for any of these things that Pythagoras is remembered, but for his mathematical discoveries. He arrived at a mathematical analysis of musical intervals, and daringly proposed that those musical intervals lay behind the structure of the universe. It seems Pythagoras thought of the universe as a series of concentric spheres. Although the model as the Earth at the center, it is an important first step towards the sun-centered model. Copernicus put forward hundreds of years later, and we know that Copernicus consciously built on the system proposed by Pythagoras. Pythagoras said that numbers lay behind space itself. 1 was a point, 2 was a line, 3 was a surface, 4 was a solid. He also famously stated the properties of the right-angled triangle. Oddly enough, it was not the right-angled triangle that became an object of veneration among the Pythagoreans, but the equatorial triangle made up of 10 points arranged in 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. Tunaambiwa despite the fact Pythagoras kwanza religion ya Pythagoreanism, hatumkumbuki sana sababu ya hiyo. Tunamkumbuka sana sababu ya discoveries alimake kwa mathematics, kwa hesabu. Alikuja hapa, alikam up na properties za right angle triangle, na aka discover numbers ndio zinatumika kutengeneza muziki kwa zile strings za guitar. Unaona, alikuwa na discoveries zenye zilikuwa zime discovered before. Yani in mathematics aliachieve more kushinda venye aliachieve kutokana na ile religion alikuwa ameform. Tuendelee kusoma tusikie. Because Pythagoras did not write anything, it is difficult to be sure what he himself discovered and what was discovered by his disciples. He can nevertheless be credited with initiating a school of thought within which many remarkable discoveries were made. His followers recognized the profound implications of these discoveries too. The Pythagorean oath shows this, nay, by him who gave us the tetrasy, equilateral triangle, which contains the fount and root of ever-flowing nature. Pythagoras started an analytical approach to numbers and trigonometry, which inspired, fed, and stimulated scholars, laying the foundation of all later mathematics. The thinking of the Pythagoreans also had a profound influence on many later philosophers, astronomers, and mathematicians, most notably the philosophers Aristotle and Plato. It was Pythagoras' theory of the immortality and transmigration of the soul that had the greatest effect on them, because it underlined the kinship between people and animals. Tunaambiwa Pythagoras, despite the fact pia kudiscover vitu mob in mathematics, yeye ndiye alilay foundation ya modern mathematics. Hesabu zote zinafanyika saa hii, discoveries mob na njia mingi za kupata solutions za hesabu, Pythagoras ndiye alidiscover. As in, hesabu ya saa hii bila Pythagoras haiwezi kuwa hesabu. Tunaambiwa pia apart from that, ali-inspire watu wengi sana philosophers na ideolojia yake ya soul transmigrate, as in moyo kutoka kwa nini moja, kwa life moja na kuingia kwa life ingine. Na inspire watu kadhaa kama Aristotle na Plato wenye walianzisha philosophy yao na hiyo foundation. Pythagoras alikuwa influential sana. na tumemsikia sana, na ameishi, jina yake imeishi, amekuwa immortal, jina yake imeishi miaka kama 2000 na 2000 na juu, mpaka saa hii tunamsikia na tunatumia discovery zake kusolve problem zetu za kila siku za maisha. It was nice and I'm grateful for your time, na pia for your support and for being with me from the beginning of this reading until now. Thank you so much. Tumesoma kuhusu Pythagoras na tumejua alikuwa nani. Next time we'll have our classes and we are going to read about another personality by the name Buddha. So